All right, everybody, welcome back to Mildly Interesting. Before beginning, perhaps you'd be mildly interested to hear about our sponsors. Did I make you uncomfy? Sorry about that. It's wilder when I wear a hat, because I was doing it while wearing the quality content hat the other week streaming. Makes the brim do. Anyway, you get the idea. Let's start off with the like button located under the video. You can check it out, maybe click on it if you're so inclined. And also, youtube.com/MarinMusic, one of my 9 million channels on YouTube, with 4 quality content music track uploads of the electronic variety going up every single week. Check it out. I do feel like some of them are underappreciated. They're good tunes. So link in the description and stuff like that. Let's start off with number 19. This bird hit a window and then pooped itself. You know you're having a bad day when that happens. I hope the bird is okay, because, you know, there's a thing where when you unalive, you relax your muscles, and I would assume the same applies to things like birds, and so there is a chance that it literally squeezed the poop out of itself when its muscles relaxed upon impact if it unalived, and that would be very sad. I hope that didn't happen to the bird. Can I also mention, there's a window, actually it's this window, like right on the other side of the camera here, and it's underneath like 10 feet of overhang, and there's a bird poop on it. And I'm just thinking, like, the velocity and trajectory that a bird would have to be traveling high up in order for that to make it under this, like, I mean, this poop would have to be traveling at a solid, like a 40-degree angle. Like, this bird was just rocketing and decided to let a projectile loose. Imagine getting hit by that. The washing machine somehow tucked everything into my robe. Dude, this has actually happened to me before, but it was with a bed sheet, because obviously bed sheets, you know, they have the elastic around the outside. And it happens every now and again that when I put clothing in with bed sheets, at the end of it, it will all be inside of the bed sheet, and I wonder, did it actually get washed, or do I need to do another load without the bottom part of the bed sheet? Did I just kind of waste the entire thing because it's encapsulated inside this, or does it still work? My flatmate placed a mirror to get the sun in their room. That's a smart idea. This way you can get the sun a little bit, like when it's coming from that side, then when it's coming from the other side, you reflect it in that way. Hopefully whoever is, you know, owns that house doesn't mind the fact that you've apparently nailed a mirror to their wall. But maybe they just never go through here. Like, this alleyway belongs to you and your flatmate, and then this person just never sees it, and so they have no idea that someone's just nailed a mirror to their wall. Hopefully you got their permission. The old escalators of Windward train station in Sydney now hang from the ceiling. It's actually kind of cool decoration. Also, just a horrifying contraption of, still terrified to this day, of getting a shoelace caught in it or something like that. And what if I can't get my shoe off? Yes, it would probably shred the lace before it starts to suck my foot inside of the teeth. But regardless, escalators, very scary. Second only to elevator doors, falling as you're in the threshold. And yeah, now they just run the risk of, like, if there's an earthquake, which I don't know if Sydney ever gets earthquakes, probably not, and these fall from the ceiling on top of people. Demonetized by an escalator. Wow, that sounds unfortunate. Yeah, it wasn't even an operating one. They just had the bright idea of putting it on the ceiling. This rock that looks like a demonetized head. It kind of do look like that. It could have been like a skull of a giant from long, long ago, and it's just petrified in this forest here until it looks like it's turned into rock, but actually it's a thing. Also, on the other hand, kind of looks like it's just a head that's kind of sticking out of the ground, like the ground is a little blanket. It's taking a nice little rest right there. A little bit of pareidolia. Haven't been on the pareidolia subreddit in ages. Maybe I should check it out at some point. This shark outline in wood siding. That's pretty cool. I wonder how the roofing people reacted to that particular request. I guess that seems more like a DIY project, because I can only imagine, given that I'm dealing with construction right now, if I told the construction people, hey, could you just, you know, take what you're doing but interrupt it a little bit in order to carve a shark into what you're putting in? Like, could you do that for me? And they'd be like, no, we're not. I don't think we will do that. I think we will just get everything installed quickly easily, straightforward. And that you can, if you want to carve a shark into your roof, you can carve a shark into your roof for your siding. We're not. No, it's okay. That's a DIY project right there. Turned out well though. Looks pretty cool. Removed an old desk drawer and it looks like an abandoned store. Dude, I love when like miniature things actually look like something else but full sized. There's got to be a name for that. It's not pareidolia. It's like inanimate pareidolia. Pareidolia is like when some inanimate thing looks like a living thing, usually. But this is just like when some inanimate thing looks like another inanimate thing, but on a larger scale. Things that look small being large. There must be a word, but I'm gonna have it be that for now. The moss growing on this bus stop gutter looks like a tiny ancient ruin on top of a hill. Here we go again. That's it. See, when tiny things look like a bigger thing on a bigger scale. Apparently that's just what mildly interesting is as a whole. It's just small things looking like big things, but they're miniatures. People like miniature things. What you needed to do is take this photo and then you needed to get some super high quality camera, get like a macro lens going or something, get super up close, take this photo, and then you go into Photoshop, you apply that like tilt shift miniaturization effect, and then you got it. Then it would look like the real thing. My freezer produces ice spheres rather than ice cubes. Wow, okay, weird flex, but okay. All right, Mr. Fancy with your ice cube machine maker in your refrigerator. Wow, they're not even clear, dude. They've got a little bit of, frosting on the inside. Bro, can't even use these for a whiskey drink, an old fashioned or something like that. Come on. Your refrigerator doesn't produce crystal clear ice cubes? Why even bother at this point? It's really convenient. I bought these, they are ice spheres as well, but they're not ice. They're just spheres, but they're metal and they have like a coolant that you find in an ice pack inside of the metal sphere. And I put them in the freezer, and then that way it doesn't dilute the drink. It's not quite as effective as ice. Like if you pour yourself a second helping, at that point it's not quite as good, but still it doesn't end up diluting, which is pretty cool. So I've got not ice spheres in my freezer too. My rug looks like a giant version of my napkin. It do be like that though. So I guess it doesn't matter if you spill on your rug then, right? Or if you spill next to your rug, you can just use your rug to wipe it up. Seems good. Seems effective. What might have actually happened here is I bet that this particular design was used long before paper towels were being manufactured, and someone, who works for the paper towel company was like, hey, I've seen this is kind of a cool design. Why don't we put it on our paper towels? There you go. Never really understood the purpose of putting designs on paper towels. Seems unnecessary. Why not just, generic flat paper sheets? But hey, you do you. Amish/Mennonite people looking at a supercar. I mean, that's got to be all the more interesting, right? Like if you live your life not using electricity, going on horse and buggy, things like that, when you see a Lamborghini Huracan Performante in bright green, you're going to be like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't see that very often. I wonder if there's ever been, it's like a My Strange Addiction, but it's like an Amish person who ended up accumulating a ton of money, I don't know, through farming, selling crops, things like that. And they're just like, they live their life according to the rules of being Amish and not using any technology. But they got the itch. They got the itch and they had to like under the radar find a way to go and like hide buying supercars, and they built up like a massive collection, hid it in a barn. No one was allowed in. And then one day it was like discovered, and it was just like real scandalous that it was discovered that so-and-so was hiding like a supercar collection. Oh man. The cedar wood I was cutting is purple inside. That is kind of interesting. I wonder why that is. It looks like it's like a candy. It's like a layered candy, dude, or it's like a jawbreaker. You cut it in half, you get the cross section of all the different colors. Although in this case, it'd be like a Tootsie Roll or a taffy that has the rings inside it or something. Taste it. See how it is. The interesting thing is like here on the edge, it doesn't look purple at all. Only it actually looks purple on the grain that way, because that doesn't look good at all. Interesting. Bone cancer in a snake skeleton. I'm gonna be honest, that looks real painful. That can't feel good at all. Oh God, just imagine that probably develops over. Oh, I don't know how fast it spreads in a snake, but if that were in a person, that'd be like years. Years. Oh no. I mean, that looks fascinating, but oh God, that must be. Oh God, what do you do? I mean, it must be absolutely debilitating pain that probably negatively impacts its ability to hunt or anything like that, in which case I guess you probably don't last long, but that's, oh God. Saw a DeLorean today and later noticed a guy in an orange vest in the back. Could it possibly be the owner who decides when he takes it out to go in cosplay? Because there's gotta be someone who does that. Like, they only take it out if they're dressing like Marty McFly, right? There was one dude who, I mean, I would see him in the past, pre The Crown, parked outside of the area where the gym was that I used to go to, and I never saw the DeLorean without him hanging out next to it. It was so weird. It's like he must go park there and stand next to his car just to try to like strike up conversations. And it's fine. It's not hurting anyone, but I find it so interesting that it's just like you park it there, and then you, instead of like enjoying it and driving it, you're like enjoying the fact that you're standing next to it and seeing if people will approach you to converse. The smallest handrail you've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's perhaps not entirely necessary. I don't know, maybe there's some code wherever this is. It's like if you have any change in elevation on the interior of anything, there has to be a handrail that accompanies it. And I'm just thinking like, bro, there are a lot of curbs out there in the world that are kind of just in the open with nothing around to support it. So, but I guess they did everyone a favor here. The thorn that's been traveling through my fingernail since July 18th completed its journey. Oh no, what did you, wait, did you act, like, did it go, oh no, did it go under, like, just in, and then, please tell me it didn't do that. Please tell me it somehow, like, went in from the top and not wedged underneath. Please tell me it didn't do that. Oh, it's gotta be a bit of relief that it's out, but please tell me it didn't go. I hit a ticket jackpot and started redeeming the tickets before they finished dispensing. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. This is every child's dream. You so many tickets that you're able to you're just redistributing tickets automatically. You're just taking them from one machine, feeding them into the other, and this is incredible. My only concern would be I think the ticket counters count quicker than these dispense, or maybe they're completely synchronized. It was built for just this moment, so that someone who won the jackpot on whatever the heck this absolute unit of a jackpot machine is could just feed it right there, and they would go at the exact same pace. I wish I could see a video. This needs a video accompanying it, but wow. Congratulations. I wish I could have done this. And the top, for the last month of Mildly Interesting, my 100% complete collection of every Lego shield ever made. This has to be one of the most niche collections that the world has ever seen. I wonder what the chronology is like. What is the oldest Lego shield? This person, if you spent your whole life collecting all these, you must know what came first, what's the latest. Are you going to be able to keep expanding on this? Also, can I just say how cool it is that they all fit? Everything Lego always fits and always has been and always was the meme where the person's looking at the Earth with the astronaut. But it's just like it all fits. That's part of why Legos are so expensive, because they work and they always work. They will still work. They will continue to work. After humanity stops existing, people will discover ruins, fossils of Legos, and the Legos will still be able to be assembled and disassembled. Is this every single sign, though? Do you know that for a fact? I don't know how to tell you otherwise, but maybe someone out there is like, nah, you're missing this one from such and such set in 1998, had a limited run. They only produced 100 units, and they were auctioned off to collectors. You're missing that sign. Sorry, dude. Some Lego historian out there. That could be a YouTube channel. Anyway, that's it for the last month of Mildly Interesting. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you liked. Check out the playlist in the description if you want to catch more Mildly Interesting. And sub to the channel, hit the bell even if you're already subbed. And the last Mildly Interesting video here. Speaking of Marin Music, if you want to check out the last Marin Music track, we'll put it there. So, cool. Check them out. See you later.